Not everybody can be smart all the time, but occasionally we see things so facepalm worthy, you really have to question how far humanity has really come. From ridiculous design fails to mind-boggling naivety, here are some photos that'll make you lose all hope in humanity. It's important for public places to have disabled access facilities so no one is disadvantaged. But I'm not sure this restaurant thought their disabled toilet through all the way. Not only are there stairs leading up to the door, but it doesn't look wide enough for a wheelchair anyway. Bad parking is hardly uncommon, but this photo defies all logic. Not 1, 2, or 3, but a total of 4 drivers have decided to ignore the designated bays by parking horizontally rather than vertically. Maybe the drivers are all friends who arrived in a convoy and just decided to copy one another, or there's really no hope. Dietary requirements can be difficult to manage when you're not preparing food for yourself, so clearly labeled allergy warnings are a must. But what's going on with this cookie? This label is a total dilemma for anyone gluten-free, and it might just be the riskiest cookie of your life. Children's books are pretty straightforward. Fewer words, more colors. Nothing too complicated, right? Take a look at this counting book using bananas to teach the number 5. Except there's 6 bananas there, making this one confusing bedtime story. Long flights are stressful enough without having to put up with someone like this. Just when you thought you were about to settle into a relaxing movie, this infuriating mass of hair appears, and God forbid she falls asleep, or you'll have to part the hair like curtains just to see. If that scenario seemed bad enough, just imagine it on a larger scale, like what these poor moviegoers had to endure. No one wants their memory of a movie to be tainted by a giant helicopter-shaped silhouette covering half the screen. Too bad her parents. It's worth taking extra toilet paper with you to public places in case of emergency, especially when people like this exist. I can't even begin to imagine what scenario could require such an extravagant use of paper, but the perpetrator should be ashamed. Most office workers will know that certain lunch foods like egg or tuna are a no-go in communal kitchens. But one man took this a step further by microwaving ghost pepper popcorn. The potent fumes caused co-workers to evacuate with watering eyes and burning nostrils, and a sign on the offending microwave warns people of the potential repercussions. It literally states that your eyes, throat, and food will burn if you use it again. So thanks a lot, ghost pepper dude. Some people dream of a beach wedding, but in reality, tying the knot in a public place does come with its own risk factors. One couple attempted to prevent randomers from accidental gate crashing by taping the venue off, but that didn't stop this lady from appearing in the background of the final photos anyway. It must be awkward to be upstaged by a disapproving old lady in a blue swimsuit on your big day. It's important to be vigilant while shopping to avoid falling victim to false advertising. But how can you spot something this sneaky? The box advertises 150 pieces, but what you don't know is that only 75 of those pieces are markers, while the rest are stickers conveniently hidden beneath the big label on top. Not only that, but most of these markers are the same color, making this a total ripoff. Generally speaking, we aren't limited on options when it comes to cards for all occasions, but something isn't quite right about this selection of Father's Day cards. Whoever okayed these designs has ignored one glaring omission. Not one of these beloved kids' characters has a father. In fact, they were all killed. But happy Father's Day anyway! Some people seem to enjoy creating unique solutions to problems which could be easily fixed. After filling designated tea and coffee jars wrong, one mother decided to relabel the containers rather than just emptying them and starting again. The puzzling new labels just add a whole new layer of confusion, if you ask me. Unfortunate mishaps often come from innocent intentions, but nothing could be more catastrophic than this devastating mix-up. This guy honestly thought he was saving the turtle's life, only it was a land-dwelling tortoise instead. You can see the anticipation on that poor tortoise's face. If there's one thing humanity constantly gets wrong, it's how much damaging plastic packaging we use on unnecessary products like these collectible toys, for example. Some things really take the cake though, like these boxed up bananas, or these packaged orange segments. Wouldn't it be great if nature provided its own protection for fruit? Nothing could be worse than these individually wrapped jelly beans though. Just why? Cheesecake makes a delicious dessert for birthdays and other celebrations, but who could anticipate a sociopathic guest taking a nonsensical slice like this? There's still hope though, because some Redditors have proposed ways to recover the precious dessert, but that monster is still at large. The cheesecake might be redeemable, but not much can be said for this poor cake. This scene of destruction is so chaotic it's almost admirable that anyone could successfully remove such specific metal pieces. Still, I'd love to hear the motivations behind this soul-crushing act of violation. Home delivery services are hardly the most reliable thing in the world, but some people clearly have no regard for anyone but themselves. This hard-of-hearing homeowner left a very clear note to say they are in, but UPS went ahead and left a "sorry we missed you" slip anyway. Are you really sorry though? Standing in line isn't something most people enjoy, but sometimes there's just no way to avoid it. Unless you're this woman apparently. Using the logic of the road by hoping someone is just going to let you cut in ahead is hardly a surefire way to start your journey on good terms with other passengers. Sometimes it seems like online influencers are just a different breed of human. After posing for an Instagram-worthy photo in front of a mural in an ice cream store, a fellow customer witnessed this foodie influencer disposing of the whole cone. And the worst part is, she apparently paid $7 for it too. It's no secret that people love to be lazy, but failing to take the time to think things through can sometimes make you look like a total idiot. Take this person for example who returned a battery-operated cat toy claiming it broke after 30 minutes, without realizing the box literally mentions an automatic 30-minute shutoff setting. Occasionally, we wish there were more ways to cut corners in life, and it can be frustrating when the clothes we want to wear aren't dry. But this guy learned the hard way that microwaving clothes doesn't quite work. I guess the symmetrical pattern could be passed off as part of the design, but the burning smell is probably a dead giveaway. Observing the stupidity of others is a source of endless amusement, but I really do have to question how this girl took 3 full steps into wet cement before realizing her mistake. Wouldn't it be helpful if, I don't know, there were 3 bright orange flags to prevent this from happening? If you're in any doubt about just how much people suck, take a look at this satellite view of SeaWorld in Orlando. The area circled in yellow is the car park, the red circle is a man-made lake used for paddle boating, and that tiny blue area? That would be the habitat where the orcas are kept. Do better, people. People can be total jerks for no reason. Just check out this terrible image of some totally idiotic parking. Not only has the car on the left illegally parked in the designated disabled bays, but they've parked so badly that the owner of the correctly parked car can't even access their driver's side. Speaking of parking lot drama, I would really like to know just how this person ended up in this sticky situation. Unless cars are suddenly falling from the sky, this took some serious skill. Never mind braking in time, this person broke the laws of physics. People make questionable decisions sometimes. But who would truly consider this the most effective way to reseal cereal in the morning? Besides the fact that there's literally a bag inside the box, this method would require some serious strength. A certain etiquette is required when spending upwards of 9 hours traveling on a plane with strangers, and this kind of obnoxious behavior definitely doesn't cut it. By the looks of it, most passengers would have been trying to get 40 winks in this darkened cabin until this dude plugged these bad boys in. What is the purpose of such flashy headphones anyway? Disappointment is an inevitable part of life, but can you imagine expecting to eat a delicious cheeseburger and receiving this instead? The worst part is that there's definitely cheese there, but it's just one single strip. Maybe next time try ordering the Cheeses burger for more. Protecting your personal belongings is important, but it's probably safe to say that the owner of this bike hasn't seen it since this photo was taken. It's admirable that someone even considered this method of bike locking to be theft-proof, but have they never lifted anything before? Some drivers love to test their luck by doing dangerous things on the road, but of all places to make an illegal U-turn, this was probably not the best. From going in the wrong direction to going nowhere at all anytime soon, this driver definitely deserved to have their prized vehicle stuck in concrete. It's astounding how people can even end up in a situation like this one without realizing earlier that their SUV was quickly disappearing into the sand. It's almost as if they've never heard of the changing tides, and no amount of pushing and pulling is going to free that beast. There's nothing wrong with this photo on first glance, and at least recycling is being taken seriously. Or is it? It doesn't take a genius to realize that all the rubbish is going into the same bin bag, whether it's recyclable or not. Nice try, guys. Dyeing your own hair is a brave move, and there's plenty that could go wrong. But this girl really took things to another level when she ended up with the logo of British supermarket chain Asda on her head. The poor girl tied the supermarket bag around her head to avoid dye going everywhere, and accidentally transferred the lime green logo onto her hair. Who knows? Could be a new trend. Cooking isn't everyone's forte, but it takes a certain kind of person to mess up frozen pizza this badly. It turns out cutting boards aren't oven safe, but surely the smell of burning plastic would be enough to warn you that something wasn't quite right. Sometimes we seem to be in a total daze while carrying out daily tasks, but it's incredible just how oblivious some people can be. One bemused driver snapped this surprising photo of someone driving down the road with the gas pump still attached to their car. It's almost commendable. It's remarkable that this chandelier made it to the final stages of production without anybody raising concerns about its unconventional design. Something as elaborate as this surely costs a hefty sum of money, but who would really want to be greeted with this after walking into a house? Some people take prom proposals way too seriously, but no one has gone quite as far as this guy. Surely flowers and a card would suffice, but at least it looks like she said yes. Design fails aren't few and far between, but this totally impractical gate is something really to be admired. I wonder how many people actually stopped to use this rather than just slipping around the outside. And what was the logic behind closing off the middle of a field anyway? Stupid people come in all shapes and sizes. This one just happens to be microwave shaped. This bizarre humanoid is actually one member of YouTube sibling duo TGF Bros, who decided to cement his head inside a microwave for a video. The plan backfired when the prankster couldn't get unstuck and struggled to breathe, and firefighters had to free him. But what did you really expect, bro? We've all been told that painting yourself into a corner is a bad idea in life, but one woman took the phrase a little too literally when she ended up in this predicament. Some pre-planning would have been crucial before starting to polish this wood flooring, and I wonder if she waited in that spot for the rest to dry before making her escape. Which of these photos destroyed a little bit of your faith in humanity, and have you been guilty of anything like this before? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.